Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Christina and I'm a full-time reseller on the Poshmark app. You can find me on Instagram at little.black.hanger. You can also find me on Poshmark at littleblackhanger without the vowels. Today's video, first of all, let's address the red elephant in the room. I dyed my hair red. It's taking me a little while to get used to, but I'm liking it, kind of. Ugh, I don't know. I used to dye my hair all kinds of crazy colors. Like I've been pink, blue, green, purple, literally anything that you can imagine, orange. I've been them. So this isn't really crazy for those who know me, but it's crazy for you guys because you don't know me like that. Okay. Anyways, today's video is going to be the basics of Poshmark. This is just going to be the bare basics for anyone who's new to the app. I've had a couple questions about how to measure things, how I organize my closet, blah blah blah. So I decided to just do a Poshmark 101. So let's get right into this video. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys how I organize my closet. I've got it sectioned off so that people aren't having to scroll through items aimlessly. At the very top I've got my tops, then I've got bottoms. I have skirts and dresses, outerwear, shoes, accessories, swimwear, my men's shop, and then all my clearance items. And then anything from this point on is sold. Alright, so to achieve this, I'm going to be sharing from the bottom up. So I want accessories to be last in my closet, or I'm sorry, clearance to be last in my closet, so I'm going to share that first and work my way up. Alright, so I'm just going to open the app, wait patiently for it to load. I'm going to hit the plus sign in the top corner, pick the square template. Then I'm going to go into graphics and I'm just going to pick the basic shapes. Then I'm going to scroll down to the plain white square and I'm going to zoom in to make everything white. Then I'm going to go to text. And this app offers a lot of fonts to choose from. I'm going to pick a very basic font. You can use whatever font you want. I'm going to type in whatever category I'm making the banner for. So in this case, shoes. I'm going to change the color to black. And I'm going to make it larger. And then I'm just going to hit the little download button in the corner and hit save to photos. So now it's saved. So I start by taking a picture of the front of the item for my cover shot. We will edit that later. Then I move on to details and size tag and brand tag. Then I take a picture of the back of the garment and any details on the back of the garment. Then I always make sure to take a picture of the care instructions so that I don't have to type it into my description. So I'm just going to open the Snapseed app, hit the little plus sign, and it brings up all the photos in my album. So I'm just going to choose the one I want, go into tools and hit healing. And this allows me to edit out anything that I don't want in the photo just so I have that clean background. And you'll see why later. Then I'm going to hit save. If you have a plain background, you can skip this step. It's not needed. I just need it for me. Now I'm going to open the Pro Knockout app and I'm going to hit cutout and add from my album the picture that I want to edit. So we're going to go to that cover shot that I took earlier, select that, import it, hit the little check mark. Then I'm going to click on where it says Insta Alpha, and I'm just going to take my tool and touch whatever I want taken away. So in my case, it's that background. Then I'm just going to clean up any little areas that were missed with the eraser tool. My wall is kind of speckled, so it sometimes leaves little speckles behind, so I'm just cleaning that up now. Do, 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 do. Alright, and then I'm going to hit the little arrow, hit next, and then I'm going to pick the JPEG. See how it made that little white background, and I can just save it to my photos. And the finished product is a cover shot with a clean white background. Alright, so this is how I measure my clothing. As you can see, I'm using a fabric tape measure. You want to get one of these instead of using a regular tape measure because it's going to be more accurate this way. They're only a couple of dollars at Walmart, and they're in the like sewing and craft section. So I'm going to start with a basic t-shirt. And you're just going to you're going to measure the bust. So you're going to measure from the one armpit to the other, and that's going to give you the bust measurement. And then I always measure the shoulders. So I start right here where this little line is and measure over to this line. Obviously I'm doing this with one hand. It's hard for me to lay it flat, but you want to get it as flat as possible to get the accurate measurement. Then with t-shirts, the only other thing that I measure is length. So I would start from the top of the shoulder right here all the way down to the bottom hem. Now, with more fitted tops or like blousey tops, I would do a measurement on the waist as well and the bottom hem, just to show that if it cinches in at the waist, if it flares out. So you would just do that the same way you would measure the bust, just straight across, except bring it down to about where the waist is. Do that straight across, and then the bottom hem straight across. Also, if it's a long sleeve, I measure the sleeve. So for a long sleeve, you would just start right here where the sleeve starts and then measure down. Alright, so with jeans, I try and get this waistband as straight as possible. Measure like straight across. Obviously it would be flat. And that would give me my waist measurement. Also with jeans or with pants, I do the rise measurement, and I'll make a list after this of measurements that you need to take for your items so that you can screenshot it and have that. So the rise measurement is this part right here. So that's how high it comes up. So this makes it known whether it's a high waist or a mid-rise or a low-rise jean. So you want to start from right here where this little seam is and go up right here, and that'll give you your rise measurement. So then I move on to the thigh, and I typically go about right here and just measure across, and that gives me the thigh measurement. Then the inseam, you want to start right here and go all the way down to the bottom hem of the jean, and that's going to give you your inseam. And then obviously the length, you would start at the waistband and go all the way down. I also like to measure the hip measurement, so usually I start the hip measurement about right here on the jean, and then you just measure straight across. If it's a skinny jean or a skinny pant, I will do the like calf measurement and the bottom hem measurement just to show like how it tapers or how skinny it gets, so that, you know, there's different calf sizes and people have different size calves. They may be, you know, a 4 in the waist, but the leg is going to be too skinny. So I like to include that in any pants that are like skinny like that. Alright, now I'm going to show you how I do my descriptions. So this is a listing of mine. You can see all my photos here. We're just going to get down to the information now. So I typically start my descriptions with a little styling tip. That's completely optional. You don't have to do this. Then I disclose any flaws. If there aren't any flaws, I just write no flaws. I write the size, and then I put a little measurements disclaimer. It just says all measurements are approximate hand measurements taken while garment is laid flat, double measurement where necessary, example bust. And then I put my measurements down below. I like to put this little disclaimer just to state that they are not exact measurements and that fit is not my problem, basically. That sounds harsh, but it's true. One last thing I wanted to talk about is offers. Whenever I receive a lowball offer, I never decline it. I always counter offer. People are always going to lowball offer you. It's just a fact. It's going to happen. Always counter offer because people are just going to try and see what they can get. You may have an instance where they just don't counter offer back, and that's fine, but always counter offer. Also, if someone asks if you trade, just simply say, I don't, but thank you for the offer. And the reason I do this is because, like I said, with the lowball offers, people are always going to try and see what they can negotiate. In this instance on the screen, I said, no thank you, but thanks for the offer, and she actually ended up buying the item anyways. So that's why it's important to always answer those trade questions. Alrighty guys, so that does it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure and give it a thumbs up on the way out. Also subscribe to my channel. It would mean the absolute world to me. Also, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please be sure and leave them down in the comments below. I will be happy to answer any questions that you have. Also, just come say hi to me. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.